And now the sixth shloka, or the verse, it is talking about the benefit and the qualities of Bodhichitta. And also it's like a general benefit qualities of the Bodhichitta and specific qualities and beneficial of the true bodhicittas, aspiration bodhicitta and application bodhicitta. And also it's like thirdly, the explanation who is adopted the Bodhisattva's commitment, and in this kind of the mind stream, it's how it is the benefit, and like this. And also the first one, the basic compassions, benefit qualities, how it is like a extraordinary than the other virtues, or the more superiors of the other virtues. Or maybe we can to say the compassion virtue is more superior than the other virtues. And that is like kind of showing by the qualities and beneficials. And also it's like when you are taking the bodhicitta, or when you are undertake bodhicitta's commitment, and that moment how it is the changing process of your name, and also it's like the meanings. And then it's like and also that is showing by the different examples. And then it's like here is saying a verse, all the ordinary virtues therefore are forever feeble, whilst negativity is strong and difficult to bear. But for the mind intent on perfect Buddhahood, what other virtue could ever overcome it? And in the both the explanation, how it is the virtue is feeble and weakness. Like a virtue idea is very rare. It's very sometimes. But the non-virtue ideas, negatives, strong and difficult to bear it. And it's like kind of the negative patterns, negative habitual tendencies. And according that, disturbing emotions, very powerful. And which kind of to make the overcome it. How we can to bear about the difficult of the disturbing emotions. And which kind of the virtues. But for the mind intent on the perfect Buddhahood. And that is the meaning of the Bodhicitta, compassion. And this morning is like Shāntideva Rinpoche to say that Bodhicitta itself, it has the two goals and two aspects. two goals. It is like first is a compassion goal, compassion aspect concerning all the sentient beings, benefit for all the sentient beings. And second is according the wisdoms. And when we are concerning the benefit for the sentient beings, not temporary benefit, it is the perfect Buddhahood benefit and intent to perfect Buddhahood. And it's like a kind of through your compassions to concerning the sentient beings, you wish, you want willingly to make the freedom for them from the sufferings, not in the relative perspective or relative point. It's absolutely, you also is like to bring them the state of the happiness, not like a changeable happiness, like a relative. Your wish is like kind of to bring the sentient beings into the unchangeable level of the happiness, which is the Buddhahood. Therefore, you say it's like concerning two goals, yourself, others. Two meanings is like the aspect, compassion aspect, the wisdom aspect. And this unification of the compassion, wisdom, it is the body of the compassion. For example, what does it mean? When you are like kind of concerning one sick person, and through their compassions, you want to liberate this sick person from the sickness. Very strong wish, and like you're through the compassions. And then wisdom aspect, how it is that can cure, how we can to make liberation from this one. It is like kind of if you give the painkillers, okay, mid short periods, this person's, now my pain and sickness is gone, but reality, they're still there. And not like this kind of, you want to eradicate, to completely make free from this sickness. And that is like a wisdom aspect, not concerning in the relative point. It's absolute point concerning. And then there is the Bodhichitta, and has two goals, self and others, and also two aspect, wisdom aspect, and the compassion aspect. And this kind of the two aspect, and yourself, which kind of the benefit. And the unification of the compassion and the wisdoms. And when you are generating bodhicitta, you are developing the both aspect. And also this morning, someone's asked, and someone's like Shēji Rinpoche give answers. And if you realize that the wisdom of the empty nature, then you have naturally this development of the compassions. If you develop the compassions, you have natural realization of the empty nature of the wisdoms. And because they are kind of how it is the combination combined, it is. For example, when you are really realized the empty nature of the wisdoms, then that means you understood the reality of the phenomena. You understood the sentient beings' situations. You understood what is the really right, what is the really wrong. For example, there's examples. And one old person to look at some few like months baby, very young baby. This baby is like kind of crow, yes, you do, a crow on the floor. Whatever got this baby's eat. And baby hasn't got any discriminating wisdom, what is the really poison, what is eatable, what is not eatable. But even maybe this one old person to look at this baby, Maybe this old person, not father, not mother, but it has natural kind of, I know this, you can't eat. And this is not good, this is right. You automatic has kind of sympathetic. And like this, when you understood the wisdom of the emptiness, the reality, nature of the realities, and then you look at some sentient beings, they do not understand, they're doing wrong way, then you have naturally has the compassion. And like you consider at the sentient beings as the cherished children. For the Buddhist perspective, Bodhisattva's perspective, sentient beings, they are own children. And in the Śāntideva said, it's like sentient beings concerning wish to get such happiness, really wish, but they doing through the body speech, the mind's action is the negative. And then result is the sufferings. They're like the wish, doing, conduct is the contradict each other. And when you see like this, then you automatically kind of develop the compassions, because you have the realization of the this empty nature of the wisdoms. Then you understood that, then your compassions naturally to grow up. And also if you are realizing that the compassions, then it's like compassion is like the unification of this two aspect, compassion and wisdoms. And then it's like as much as you practice compassions, how you can to practice compassions? Really you are to practice compassions according to the four kind of the measurables, four immeasurables. Yes, you say four immeasurables. Four immeasurables. First one is the immeasurable of the equanimities. You first time is you analyze equanimity of all the sentient beings. The equanimity of your family and enemies. Equanimity of ourselves to the others. Equanimity of the samsara and nirvanas. Equanimity of the virtue, no virtues. You are not have any kind of distinctions between there is. Everything you make in the equalized. And this equalized, you developed, it's naturally you kind of destroying the dualistic mind. Dualistic mind. You as like this equanimity, the meditation of the equanimity is the antidote of the dualistic. Dualistic mind is like concerning the improper conceptual ideas. Say this is the you, this is the me, this is the this, that, good, bad. This morning we are talking about the essence nature, the main principle body, principle mind, principle verbs. It is not kind of partialities, impartialities. For example, our principle body is not negative body, not negative, the positive body. This is the universe of the holder of the body. And the principal verb is not a negative verb, not positive verb, but it's the universal of this verb. In the principal mind, it is not negative mind, it's not positive mind. It is the source of the both. It's the source of the both universal. And in this perspective, everything is equal. Samsara, nirvana is equal. Positive and negative is equal. If we realize that in that perspective, then dualistic mind is that is the freedom, that is the enlightenment. And therefore, when you are training at the beginning of the Bodhichitta, first the four measurable of the equanimities is naturally the automatic antidote for the dualistic mind. And you reduce the dualistic mind, your mind is more and sharp, more and clearly, more is coming kind of to shine out. Then you understand the wisdom as naturally, and also its wisdom is more stronger and stronger. Then of course there is the compassion, rejoicing, and the kind of the sympathy, the love. These are the 3-4 measurables. The 3 other measurables also is natural. All this kind of through the compassions, when we practice the compassions, the unification of the compassions, impartial compassions, or the mind of the enlightenment. We say it's like, translate Bodhichitta, it's like the mind of the enlightenment. That means it's like equally to concerning. There's no you, me, there's no samsara nirvana, there's no enemy families. First times like this, then it's more and more to developed, and then it's like a kind of the inner dualistic mind is more decrease, and it's like a non-conceptualization is more increase, and at the same time there is the pacified or the purification of the two obscurations, and also it's like naturally occurring the two accumulation merit of merit, and accumulation merit of the wisdoms. And then it's like these two merits to more and more clean up, to purify the two obscurations. Two obscuration, one is occurring that concern the self-existence, one is occurring the like kind of the existence of the phenomena. And then it's like two obscuration is the decrease, and then it's like there is the two aspect of the compassion, essence aspect, and this qualities also aspect is to more grow up. And then is the final result is the true like achievement of the Dharmakaya and achievement of the Sambhogakayas. And that is the finally realizations. And therefore, and here is like they said, but the mind intends on the perfect Buddhahood. And it's like this kind of powerful negative emotions, powerful like kind of the obscurations, according to the negative habitual tendencies, how we can to purify it. Maybe it is like, for example, we can look at the history of the Asangas. 12 years he made the retreat and practiced the Buddha Mutiyanas. It's nothing happened. He's more kind of the ignored, and nothing there's mind happened. Nothing signals, no sign, nothing. And of course he completely fed up, like kind of discouraged. And then it's like he left, and from that, then he saw the sick dog. And when he saw that this sick dog, and he has incredible compassion to this dog. And on that moment, and he purified all the obscurations and achieved his enlightenment. And this sick dog is transformed into the Buddha Mutiyanas. And he said, kind of the breathe, he says, 12 years I practice you, I never saw. Why today, sir? And he replied to say, this is the lack of your compassion, sir. And if you haven't got compassion, how you can to eradicate your obscurations? And today is your compassion is the very strong. One that moment you eradicate your obscuration, then you can to see me. And like this, it's like through the practice, the compassions, we can come over of the disturbing emotions very easily, overcome it very easily. And therefore it is like how it is the powerful virtues, how it is the wonderful virtues. And when we look at this kind of the virtues, we should to have enthusiastic. For example, if you can to say to generate bodhicitta, maybe 1 picosecond, I would to say, in the scriptures to say. For example, we can to compare the equivalent of the accumulation merit. If someone make the gold to collect, to fill up this world, and if you all offering to this gold to Buddha and Bodhisattvas, whoever dwell in the 10 directions, then we can say, how much is the accumulation merit? How much you have the amount of the accumulation. But compare that if you maybe 1 second meditate on or generate the bodhicitta, as this a merit much bigger than that. And like this, for example, in the Patrul Rinpoche's book, the advice to Konzon Chujil said, And even if you make the retreat, maybe it's 4 days. Per day you take it the 4 sessions. In the morning 2 sessions, in the evening 2 sessions. And each session is related to the creation stage, dissolution stage, combine, leap over, and cutting throughs. And looks like very profound, looks like really you are practitioner. But Patrul Rinpoche, if not connect to the Bodhichitta, he said, I have such a doubt you become the enlightenment. All these kind of paths bring you into the enlightenment. He said, I have doubt. Sometimes meditations, and also it's like practice things. It's making the sometimes a wrong rebirth. But he said, if you practice the compassions, and all the time is on your right path, and therefore to develop the compassion is the most important, powerful virtue, extraordinary accumulation merit, and extraordinary benefit for ourselves, extraordinary benefit for others. And it is like, it doesn't matter you believe or not believe, Buddhist or non-Buddhist, it doesn't matter. Compassion is the truth of the relative reality, the truth of the absolute realities. And that is we need to more to analyze, more to check again and again. And like this. Okay, we have go to the next verse or not? Okay. Yes? Okay. Questions? Oh yes, 6. We have like 3 minutes. Okay, what is questions?
You said we should...
Loudly.
Yes. Geku said.
You explained it's so important to hold on it, the bodhicitta, once it's born within us.
Yes.
But how to hold on it? Sometimes it happens that we have some good idea, motivation.
Mm-hmm.
How to hold on that one, how to keep it alive.
For example, if you do some tasks, okay, and then maybe it is a very difficult task, but some in you skillfully, you done very easy, comfortably you done.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Then you need to remember next times. I did this, I did. Whenever you next time doing like this, exactly the same. Once you have idea, oh, I need to help really other sentient beings. That once, yes, last month I have this idea. I need to remember again and again and again. That is to maintain.
But for a project, for example, I would write paper afterwards and say, this I've done, it was like, this was useful, this was to improve next time. So for Bodhichitta, how do you do that? Practically speaking.
Practically speaking, is like how it is the strong. And when you really to undertake the path of the compassion, okay, Bodhichitta, and according to the relative Bodhichitta, according to the absolute Bodhichitta, according to the aspiration Bodhichitta, application Bodhicittas, okay, there's many like steps. And but this principle is, today is the first time your bodhicitta is arrived into your mind. I need to like help to the sentient. There is one suffering sentient being. How much you have feeling, emotional, and maybe next time is compare how much you have strong or just lesser, and then it's like not much to develop. It's the same as we can do say, there's a petty beings is suffering. Yeah, okay, this he or her business. And it's like, petty in English. Sometimes they say compassion is a petty, means you have not really feeling. Really it's Buddha's teachings. Really, I want to help, really, seriously. And then it's like you need to check how much is the strong. It's not much strong. You have these ideas, then you practice equanimity, love, compassion, rejoicing, tonglen, like 6 transcendent, And then you to develop. Then you're stronger and stronger. That is the process. Practically speaking, like this.
Possible without process?
Huh?
It's possible without process?
With the process, how to develop it? Without process?
With this
Yeah.
bullet.
Huh?
Lazy guy.
He's always asking for something special.
I have a question.
Just without no thoughts, the best development. That is possible?
I don't know.
Yes, it is. But to do not want to develop the compassions, but concerning different things. And then he says how to, without like the how to say, it's like a process, without a process, how I can to develop them is not correct. And?
Yeah. Can we say, are
Yes.
we allowed to say that these Nalanda monks and teachers were really stupid, all? Because nobody recognized he was enlightened, Śāntideva. How possible?
Enlightened activities is inconceivable. They all the times hiding. We don't know really. Maybe also they needed, maybe they understood, but they don't want to show. Maybe also they need to want, like kind of Śāntideva's need to, how do you say, the action that.
Oh, yeah, to put it in action.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is the, maybe whoever living there looks like stupid, maybe they are the Buddha. They understood the realization of the Śāntideva, and also finally they need to do it, these ceremonies. And also, but they are like kind of ignored it. We cannot to say they are not stupid. And also Śāntideva himself, he's just living there. It's a very lazy way. And that means it's like maybe our Geku needed, there's no kind of the process. He just sleepy, drink, and eating and shit. But there is inner, like his only single thoughts is compassion. That's okay. Yes?
Do you think it says that rarely through Buddha's power a mind of virtue briefly
Yes.
arises in all? Do you think we can create conditions so that
Which kind of conditions?
to create a mind of virtue?
Condition what? How?
I don't know, like to people be more involved, like civilization, society, like,
Involved the civilization, what? For the virtues?
yes, to promote
Okay.
values that
Promote
encourage
which value?
compassion.
Promote which value?
Values like compassion and altruistic mind and
Okay, that is
then-
good.
Then
It's already there, this one.
then you can create conditions for more people to develop compassion. For example, promote.
Maybe that is also is like kind of the Buddha's blessing. If someone's give the conditions.
Like to promote social services, for example, and not capitalistic values like make profit.
Yes,
Maybe-
but I think I would to say the socialist or like these things is first time you should to tame your mind. In sometimes our Western to say is, Buddhist people's never acting, Buddhist people's never doing the social kind of the organizations. They all the time meditating, looks like a mouton. No, the mouton. Okay, do you understand? But it's this is incorrect. For example, in the Buddhist perspective, first time you need to prepare the mind. Very important. Afterwards, you can to give the condition to the others. For example, ourselves is the doer, shower, creator of this social, and like kind of the helper to the others. Your mind is not ready yet. You have such expectations. If you help others and I'm superiors, I'm helping to you, you should respect me. And I'm like kind of superiors, then it's not Bodhisattva's way.
Yes, but if you promote...
Promote what? First time, we need to promote our own activities.
and what can you do so that this kind of mind doesn't appear so rarely?
What can we do? We need to do our own way of change. Our own body, our own verb, our own mind to change positive way, compassionate way. That is then give you condition to the others. If we cannot give nothing, we talk to the others. Can you give condition? We need conditions that we never, particularly during the decadent times. Also, it doesn't work. Give explanations, and also it's like to create, to running after something. It doesn't work. Best way to silently to change ourselves, to become the kind, to become the disciplined person, and compassionate, and how you can to help even your families, your partner, your children, your friends. If you can to them to bring into the compassionate way, that's the marvelous. Then first time we need to change ourselves. How much we need to change each moment we need to look. When someone is mouthly, it's very easily to say, we need to do like this, that, but themselves is all the time doing funny things. They never change. Then what we need to talk? First time is we look at ourselves, behaviors, characteristics, how much we changed, how many years we followed the Buddha's path. There's nothing changing process, then we cannot to talk. Better to forget, it says. Ponapati. And it's like, how long have you been in the Bodhisattva? Or how long follow you the Buddha's path? Maybe few months. Already there's a changing process. Fantastic. Very gentle, very precise, very much kind of the like conservative, as you say, okay? Doing everything so very gentle. Surprise. People more coming virtual ideas. Also, I need to follow. Look, this person's changed. Wonderful. Maybe this person's alcoholic, drug addict, all the time chatting, running around. And suddenly it's like follow the Buddha Dharma, you changed. Then it's like really is marvelous. Then you help into the other sentient beings. Fantastic. You give such a good condition. Then we can't change nothing. You need to change. It's incorrect. Of ourselves, nothing change. We need to change. Who is we? There's nothing. That means it's our own self need to change. Okay?
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Then other questions?
Rinpoche,
Yes.
What would your advice be for someone who is not a practitioner but has extreme love for animals and the compassion and sees something being hurt or harmed, is absolutely helpless in crying, in tears, and really wants to help or to stop something being killed, but being helpless? I mean, how to, because that's almost destructive, because it's too strong emotion that comes up.
This is also this is based also compassion. Compassion is like this is our nature, compassion and wisdoms, and all the sentient beings has the Buddha natures, and according to the Buddha natures, we have compassion, we have wisdom. And also it's like this is compassion, according this kind of the feeling, this kind of compassion. Surely they have such a result beneficial. And when we now it's like specific to generate the compassion, and then it's a specific result to fast quickly, like hamburgers. Delicious. Then we need to McDonald's. No. This is, and also it's very your question quoting the Uttaratanta. Uttaratanta, there is like one word is like perfect Buddha is the radiant. Perfect Buddha is radiant. And that like kind of the mean there's a kind of conversation. Is there's two different perspectives. For example, Buddha nature is like in doubt at the beginning, less in our mind streams. But some others say it is like a kind of the Buddha nature is like kind of like certainly to arise from the Buddha's blessings. Something is different conditions, and then it's like the kind of the how it is comes. Maybe in this perspective, you can to say it's like based this, as you said, this kind of compassion, based understood like wisdom. For example, sometimes animals, they are wisdom. For example, their children, their families to put on the safe, and also they can protect this kind of wisdoms. And also it's like some sentient beings, natural compassion. As you say, someone's human beings, they don't know the Buddha's teaching, they doesn't want to practice nothing, but they have such love to the animals. When someone's suffering, they are crying, and this is natural. Through this developed, and then it's like kind of become the Buddha nature, like kind of development of the Buddha nature, you can to say. Why is it like our sentient beings become the enlightenment finally? Then you can to say is because this kind of nature to develop, they make the cause and then become the enlightenment. But this is part of the compassion, yes. And?
So we don't need to be Buddhist to become Buddhas.
Well, sure, this is the final, but I think longer terms. You want to be long? But this morning you said you want to immediately. Now you want. This is non-Buddhist or Buddhist, it doesn't matter. Every sentient being has Buddha nature. They finally be Buddha. Then? But you want to immediately. Can I become the immediately Buddhist? Yes.
This is an obstacle. This is an obstacle.
No obstacle. Depends on your way of the thinking. Yes?
Sometimes, maybe because we are beginners, we face situation of other people suffering, and there's nothing we can do on our level. Just
No, we can't do. You know, now in America, they are testing. For example, there's two sick person. Once, like both is going to die definitively. And it's like kind of big sick, to injured. And then they said one person has nobody's pray, nobody's like kind of constantly made this person to getting better. One person has like making puja, and someone's really concerning to like kind of, this is mentally how it is works. And then it's slowly completely different result. Once even the science they discovered, and if you are concerning sentient beings, you are not yet enlightened, but this influence, this affect automatically to going to. And of course, if you know that your intrinsic nature and the nature of the reality, nature of the mind is maybe like to bring inside like kind of the mixed and to pray through your compassion, such a benefit. No necessarily physically to go to there. Physically, like verbally go to the help is very also difficult. There is direct, remembers, one person's accidented, car accident, upside down, and then but the driver is not injured, nothing, and coming from the car, and the other persons just saw that, immediately called to the police. Maybe this car is burning, and he's coming to us. Okay, this other person said, "Don't worry, I called to the police." He was this person's angry. Why you make me disturbed? Now it's finished, because this person's drunk, and big problem. But now police is coming. He's taking diving lesson, and nothing helped. It's more disturbed. And in this perspective, it's like you physical to help is very much dangerous. You need to wisdom first time, to need to skill for how you can to help them. It's sometimes it's like helping, but it's harming.
So we need to have some intelligence to know in which case is better, which kind of help is actually useful. And which one is
If there is a direct help, physically. If there's something unclearly, maybe it's better to careful. And if there's a clearly to help, yes. If really is like without any expectations, even you'll spend your life, then wonderful. Maybe finally you're the enlightenment. Yes?
According to what you said right now, then if, of course, I understand that we cannot help very well people, but how is the application then if we just need, I mean, how long we need to wait to make the application if we are...
The application
Aspiring, and no application.
yeah. But application is already there. But application is need to do the correctly, yes? Yes, that's you are right.
Yes.
But incorrectly you can't do it?
No.
Okay, that's right. Okay, that's right. When you make the generosity, parameter, if someone's need, you can give. No necessary, maybe it's no virtue. For example, Masha, we went into Tokyo in the city. There's one person, he's eating the newspaper, homeless. And then Masha, she took the money, it's a lot of, and he give. He looked at Masha's face and angry like this. And the other side gave, and suddenly he kicked Masha's hand. All the money's on the street. And he get up, he went. He don't want. Then this generosity is to make them more angry. This is good application? Okay. Then we need wisdom, yes? Okay, that one. Application Bodhichitta, maybe is in the mentally you can make application. Application Bodhichitta, someone say, like there is like strangeness, to give out the strangeness, to give out the anger, to give out the disattachment. Application. No need to waiting. Yes? Okay. Huh? Sonamdoi Tomji Zipani, Tomni Pepana, Yeganan Chi Walavan Trupaya, Sapun Solendro Kandrova, Show.